Okay, so is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, so speaking, I'm speaking, you're sitting there, speak to me.
So,
Okay,
what is reflexivity?
It's something great.
So you guys have been quite tight all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We lived on the same corridor and then we met.
Yeah.
And then we realised we were on the same course. So, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
And then we lived together last year and this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we...
So you can do fieldwork together?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, but that's it, isn't it? We walked from one lecture, Peter Park's lecture, where he's gone, Glenn, we're like,
Who's
Glenn, this guy Glenn's locked in his closet, obviously, he's going to murder him or something, if he hasn't already. And then we're walking to your one, then we're talking, oh, that's Glenn, like, starting to, like, obviously make the normal, liking to make the normal strange, like, creating, like, this false reality, and, like, this, like, different picture of you, which isn't actually real. And then, yeah.
It's very strange. I mean, I'm not sure what to do with the question you asked earlier about how you link together what you do in the field and what you do as teaching. I mean, I very much enjoy the... actually, it both drives me to fits of angst and anxiety, but, you know, getting up and lecturing and doing a certain kind of performance, which is kind of fun to do, but I mean, it's very much also about that idea of performing a certain kind of role, playing to a certain kind of audience, but it's very different than what you're doing in the field. And I'm not quite sure they tie together. And I think one of the MA students wanted to write an essay about, is it possible to teach anthropology? And in some ways, I don't know how to answer that one. I mean, I never had an awful lot of formal anthropological training. I did a couple of courses at the end of my time at William & Mary, which I enjoyed quite a bit. Then I did a folklore degree at University of Pennsylvania, which I didn't enjoy very much, except aspects of it were really quite cool, but that had to do with what I was reading, not what I was being taught in the class. And then I did the diploma in social anthropology at Oxford. And then from that point on, I was pretty much on my own. And then I hit the field. Palestine was a real eye-opener. I mean, in some ways it very much saved my life. I mean, I was very depressed before I went there. And I was quite depressed when I was there at times too. I mean, it's very lonely work. But there was something really exciting about being in, I wouldn't say a really other space. I mean, I don't know what I would do in a space like Daniela goes to or Melissa goes to. I mean, Papua New Guinea or Peruvian Amazon or something. In Palestine was probably a place that in some ways played up to a lot of my own psychological structures in terms of structures of oppression going on, violence going on, all sorts of things. You know, there was a kind of Heimlichness. You know, if you want the two terms about this making strange, which is about making the home seem unhomely, and there's Heimlich, which is the German term for home-like, and then there's Unheimlich, which is where Heimlich comes from. Unheimlich is actually Sigmund Freud's term for what you would call the uncanny, when something, what you get in horror shows and stuff, when that which is familiar suddenly goes really malignantly not familiar, and then suddenly the strange goes grotesque. So that's Unheimlich. So you've got Unheimlich and Heimlich. And in some ways there was something quite Heimlich about Palestine. I mean, some of the issues of unjustified force and resistance, all those kinds of things really caught an imagination I had constructed before that. But it was an incredibly powerful, incredibly intense couple of years. I haven't been able to go back to do it in the same length of time. I will go out to Palestine in 3 weeks' time for about 15 days. It won't be quite as good as before, but what am I saying? I'm not sure that's going anywhere, but it is about the difference between being taught anthropology.
Yeah.
What I would say about, and you guys are saying it yourself, what I would say is what you need to do is play games of extending the imagination, enabling yourselves to live in and think in and perceive in different kinds of spaces. And a lot of that is reading literature, some of that's reading ethnography, some of it's also that kind of critical sense of how do I put things together, how do I make sense of things going on there. But you know, I think you'll really become anthropologists when you go and do field work. And in fact, Godfrey Leonhardt said that quite clearly. I said something about what do you do to be an anthropologist? He goes, well, you go out to the field, and if you come back and you're able to write something up, then you're an anthropologist, and if you don't, you're not. It's interesting. He didn't have any guy, you know, everybody now is teaching all these courses on method and how you do this and how you do this and how you do this. Well, we never got any of that. You just, you read a lot about where you were going to, so you had enough in your head to be able to recognize what was going on, and you did it. And that's what Godfrey did, and that's what Evans Pritchard did, and that's what all those other people did. And now you're all being taught, you know, you've got focus groups, and you've got this, and you've got that, and you've got ethics. You didn't have any ethics.